Ben, how often should I rehearse my presentation? That is a question I get in my workshops quite a lot. I got it recently. So what is the answer? Let's find out. So this is always, of course, the question when you're done with your presentation, your contents, your slides, right? How often should you rehearse? And really, there are three major factors that you have to consider. So let me share with you what they are. The first factor to consider is your time. You know, how much time do you have left before your big presentation? Do you have a week? Do you have 3 days, 1 day? 10 minutes? It really depends. So that's why there is no common answer to how often should you prepare, because some people have more time, some people have less time for their presentation. So think about that first. How much time do you have for your rehearsal of your presentation? And then factor number two, what is the importance of this particular presentation? Is it a very high-stake presentation, highly important for you, medium or low importance? You really got to determine that. If it's highly important, of course, what should you do? Yes, you should rehearse as much as possible. Right? If you're, for example, you're meeting with a potential investor for your business and you're asking for funding money, you got to rehearse for that a lot. If you have a very important presentation to your manager, you got to rehearse that more often. To a big customer, same thing. You got to rehearse that more often. But if it's not that important, usually you want to rehearse, you can rehearse less. It's really up to you in the end. But considering how important the presentation is, should give you an idea about how often you should actually rehearse it. And factor number three, the last thing you really want to consider, is what is your decision maker style? Now, what is your decision maker? It's the person who makes the decision. So if it could be your customer, it could be your manager, the investor that you're presenting to. Yeah, who is that key person that you're presenting to? And what is their personality type? Is their style very detailed? If they're very detailed and they expect that you know lots of details about your presentation, you gotta rehearse even more. Yeah, if they're more to the point, more direct, for some people that means they have to rehearse less. For some people that means they have to rehearse more, depending on your own style, of course, as well. But you really always got to consider your audience and especially your decision maker style. Do you have to rehearse more so you look better in front of that particular person? And on a final note, you know, how often should you rehearse? My personal favorite is kind of a balanced approach. You don't want to over-rehearse. You don't want to rehearse too much, but also you don't want to rehearse too little. You know, too little, we all know if you don't rehearse enough, you're not gonna be as good as you could be. But on the other hand, if you're over-rehearsed, if you're a perfectionist, that usually is also not a good thing. It often takes away that natural part of your presentation. It doesn't look natural anymore because you're simply too over-rehearsed and you look like it. Yeah, so don't do that, but have kind of a balanced approach. Rehearse enough, but not too much. So comment below one time, how often do you usually rehearse your presentation? Do you have a big one coming up that you need to be rehearsing for? Yeah, share a little bit about your situation. And by the way, if you haven't done it yet, hey, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Lots of great videos coming up. If you like this video, you can click like as well. And most importantly, I really look forward to seeing you for the next video.